Welcome to Subramani. I'm going to talk to you about a topic about which not too many people speak about is this intra-family loan, and I'm speaking specifically in the case of education. Recently, one girl who wanted to go abroad and she had a small shortfall in her in the money that she needed. It was about a 30 lakh shortfall, and I mean she could have definitely gone and borrowed that money from a bank. Her father could perhaps have given guarantees, but her uncle, her kaka, father's younger brother, had money and said he wanted to fund it, and he asked me whether it was a good idea. I said it's a very good idea because it gives the girl flexibility of saying I'll repay after 5 years, or of course it can be built into the cost. And I said in a worst case scenario you can waive it off, because then there will be there's no gift tax in India when you waive off a loan. It's there, but then it's hardly implemented, especially if you even repay a 30 lakh rupee loan as about 8,000 rupees a month. You're still repaying, right? You're not paying interest, so that's the deemed gift, but that is not going to be invoked in most cases. So it can be an effective way to bridge funding gaps for foreign education. I'm talking of foreign education because largely I'm assuming Indian education is not that expensive. People can mostly people can pay. Of course, if they can't pay, the same principles will be applicable there also. First of all, it is affordability and lower cost, because you get educational loans at 10, 11%, 12%, whereas a family loan can be done at 7%, because the person who is getting is also deploying it in bank deposits. At least that's what it happened in this case. So he was very happy with a 6% return on his loan, because he was getting about that much in the bank, and he was a bank deposit kind of a person, not more into mutual funds, and also he was happy with that kind of a return. So lower interest, lower interest, no interest, a break for 5 years, or let's say the loan repayment starts 2 years after qualifying, which means 4 years from taking the loan, right? All these kind of clauses can be put. It's possible to put it into bank loans also, but it is more difficult to put it in bank loans. So which significantly reduces the repayment burden. I mean, a US program can cost $50,000 to $80,000 annually. So if you're short of money, this can be a good way of funding. So flexible terms, like I said, unlike bank loans which have a rigid repayment schedule, reminders, co-guarantors, guarantors being informed that you're not paid on time, right? All those things, you avoid all those embarrassments. And you can actually say it can start later than 2-3 years and build it into the cost. Another important thing is no collateral requirement. Many people don't have a good collateral. They may be living in a pugdy flat. They may be living in a house which is very old, so may not be acceptable as a collateral, right? So all those things are there, and so therefore it makes sense to do an intra-family kind of a thing. It can be structured in a way that you comply with tax laws, interest free, low interest, from immediate relatives. Then there is no, also if it's from father to son or father to daughter, then there is no question of any gift tax also. But of course, under Section 56 of the Income Tax Act, provided proper documentation exists. I insisted in this case on a formal loan agreement, ensuring transparency and avoids scrutiny of tax authorities also. So currency and repayment flexibility. So in this case, what we decided was one case where this loan was given, the person giving the loan, this was a very well structured one. I'm happy to pat my shoulder, saying what happened was this girl was getting a loan of 30-40 lakhs from her uncle, and uncle said, don't repay me the money, keep it as it is, and when my son comes there, which is after 4-5 years, you pay for his education, which was a good way of saying there was no interest, but it is inflation protected because you're giving it in rupees and that girl is anyway going to convert it into dollars, and she's going to pay in dollars for his son's expenses. So he said, I'm giving you about 30 what 45 lakhs it was. I'm giving you a 45 lakh rupee loan. When my son comes there for education, he will also require 45-50 lakhs. Whatever amount you think you should repay, you repay, and whatever interest you think you want to pay, you keep everything in that account and pay for him. And that time also, if there is a shortage, if my son requires much more than this, then I'll pay, but you use it only for that. Don't repay this money to me. So this was like almost like a gift going away, because anyway it's going to come back as a gift to his son. So a currency protection happened. Maybe interest rate was pegged at 2-3%, so which is a dollar denominated debt, right? So that's what the girl did, and I don't know, I mean, the repayment has not started, the son is not yet gone, but it was also structured that way. In India, there's one advantage is many people are willing to give money for education. So it could even be a cousin, it could be a distant relative, it need not be father's own brother, could be father's cousin. So what all do I suggest? Practical steps: draft an agreement. Because if you don't draft an agreement, nobody will know that you had given a loan. What happened if one of you were to drop dead? What would you do? That kind of a thing. So draft a loan agreement. Estimate the cost of foreign education properly. See how much loan you are happy to take from an outside agency. How much your father can provide, or if you have started earning, how much you can provide. How much your parents can provide. How much your uncle or somebody has to provide. Find it properly, and then maybe build in a buffer of 5-6 lakhs, and then do the documentation. Check what scholarship you will get and all that. This should not, you do not say, oh, since my uncle is paying, I need not check for scholarship. Ultimately, uncle is giving you a loan, scholarship is free. So look for scholarship and all that, and then also plan your repayments, and tell your uncle how much you are going to repay, when you are going to repay, what job when you get, which location, and how much. Maybe you start paying $50 a month, $100 a month, $200 a month. These amounts are not insignificant when you convert it into rupee terms, right? So $200 a month is 16,000 rupees. So you don't have to worry too much about exchange rate and all that. Check out 2-3% kind of interest rates which you would have paid abroad. Whatever, or do you want to pay 1%, or your uncle says don't pay me any interest, just pay it forward, pay it for my son, or don't repay it at all. So any of these things are possible. So put it into an agreement. Consult a tax or a finance advisor before you draft the agreement, because you have to provide for things like what happens if this girl drops dead. So maybe she needs a term insurance. So I checked out, but a 2 crore term insurance was not available. So one uncle wanted to fund for 2 crores. I said, if he drops dead, the money is gone. If he's alive, he'll pay the money. That's not a problem. But if he drops dead, if the boy drops dead, your money is gone. He was fine with that. So we couldn't get term insurance. We got term insurance only for 10 lakhs. So his uncle said, if it's a 2 crore loan, a 10 lakh doesn't matter. So he did not take the term insurance also. So typically for a family in Mumbai, funding their daughter's education in, say, MS in computer science, which costs in terms of Indian rupees about 1.5 crores over a 2-year period. She had scholarships of 30 lakhs, savings was about 50 lakhs, and a bank loan of 40 lakhs, which was secured with a 12% interest. She still had a 30 lakh gap, which was met by an interfamily loan from an uncle, interest at a low rate, repayable in 10 years after a 2-year gap after she got qualified. So 4-year gap, that also got built in. And the company, the girl must have saved about 10-12 lakhs in interest alone. And he said, don't bother about exchange rate and all that. Today, whatever is the rate of exchange, you can hold me to it. It's not so much of a problem. So I think intra-family loans can be well structured. It offers a practical, low-cost way to fund foreign education. Especially in most families, there will be somebody who's sitting with a lot of money, not knowing what to do. I'm not even saying therefore you should not repay, but in the worst-case scenario, if you can't repay, these are not people who are going to send goons to your house to collect the money. So all in all, I like the product, but I think you should consult a chartered accountant or a lawyer and draft a proper agreement, and then only do this. Thank you.